my name is Peter. I'm originally from South Africa, but I'm currently living and studying in the Netherlands. I am currently working on a master's in journalism, and I'm interested in writing and video editing.
I'm Rita. I'm originally from Lebanon. I'm currently living in the UAE. I have been for the past 11 years, and I'm in high school, 11th grade, and I'm interested in surgery.
Hi, I'm Malin. I live in the Netherlands. I've lived here like my whole life. I'm currently in high school and I'm very interested in things like video editing and I play guitar, so I also like that a lot.
Hi, I'm Elliot. I'm from Ireland. I'm about to go into college and I'm looking to do psychology.
Hi, I'm Elamin. I'm from Sudan and I'm 15 years old. I am in high school, second year high school student, but I'm interested in drawing and painting and watching documentaries.
Hi everyone, my name is Reham. I'm 16 years old and I live in the UK, but I'm originally from Sudan. My hobbies include like learning coding languages and drawing, and it's nice to meet you all today.
Hi guys, I'm from South Africa. I'm in 11th grade and I'm very happy to be a part of this conference and looking forward to getting to know all of you guys.
I'm Chikumbuso. I'm Zambian. I'm from Zambia, but I'm currently studying my last year of IB in Thailand. I love sports.
I'm Akani and I'm originally from South Africa. I love netball and I love designing.
Hi, my name is Gemma. I'm 18 years old and I just graduated from high school. I'm going to go into university now after the summer studying development studies.
Just to clarify the format of this a little bit, there are 5 overall themes which we'll be discussing, most of which are related to COVID and studying and how it's affected your personal lives. I guess we'll start off maybe with Akani. And I'd like to ask you how school has been for you during COVID. Exactly what were the rules in South Africa regarding COVID and isolation? Did you have a chance to go to school at all over the last year?
Geez, it's been so much, like, especially as a high scholar, when like you have to get ready for applying and university and your grades are really important. On the other hand, sport, and you know, when you're a lover of sports, it's like so much when they cancel something you love. And it has been really difficult, but hey, we had to get through it and like adjust to the rules. Like now, masks, sanitizing, everywhere you go, sanitize. And it's just really like the laws now, if you're seen without a mask now, it's a law broken, and it's just something that has to be taken serious. And last year, it was like something that we had to get used to very quick, because if you didn't, you're like gonna be lost or something. So it's something that we had to adapt to fast and had to get used to. So school has been something that I had to be flexible and adaptable towards too.
And I understand that Blessing is also very much into sports, and
Yeah.
I wonder if you share some of those frustrations as well.
Yeah, especially like the COVID era was like very difficult with sports, because like especially with me in our school, I was a basketball player and I also did athletics, and then due to COVID and non-contact, so they had to cancel basketball. And I mean, it really takes a toll on your mental health, because like now I can't play basketball anymore, and that's, you lose something you really love. So it's like you're losing a part of yourself too. So I mean, it's been difficult.
Yeah, I can imagine. Must be very frustrating and very, especially, like you said, if you love a sport so much, and I guess it also, detracts from your motivation to do other things like schoolwork. So what I also wanted to ask maybe someone else was how you guys have been handling studying online, because I imagine that a lot of you as a result of COVID, have been forced to transition to online studying. Maybe Elliot, have you been kind of forced into studying online? And what has your experience been like?
Yeah, so back when COVID started, we obviously went into online school for the rest of that year. We eventually got to come back to in-person school, starting my final year of school, but after a few months, we went back to the online school. It's really difficult because a lot of the teachers didn't step up to the task. They weren't okay with doing the classes. They weren't really great at sending the work. And we were forced to do a lot of it on our own, like self-study, self-teaching. And it was really difficult to keep up with classes. I know that my grades slipped a lot. It was really difficult to get them up to where they had to be, especially because these are my last year and a half. I have, university now. But yeah, it was extremely difficult when you've been used to doing it one way the whole time, and now you're forced to do it some other way, and no one is helping you. You've just got to handle it yourself. So it was extremely difficult these last few years.
Yeah, I mean, and it's tough, especially as you said, this is something of a transitional period, right? Like these last grades that you're going to be getting are important for going to university, etc. So it's really unfortunate timing for you, I can imagine.
Yeah, they especially changed how we were being assessed as well. Usually we would just do, in our final year, we would do a leaving cert, which is just, an exam in all of our subjects, and those would be given grades. Grades are worth points, and then we go to our courses. But they've had to change it because it's so difficult to actually study our subjects now that our class tests were also taken. So you can either have your grade be based on your exams, or your grade is going to be just based on your classwork and your participation and your tests. We're the first year to do this. So last year they didn't have the exams at all. They just assessed you based on other work. So we're the first year to have the split, and it's really difficult to figure out if it's even going to work, if it's better for some people, if it's worse for some people. So it's a lot of stress, not really knowing what's going on.
Yeah, and I think that leads nicely to the next question, which is what does work well and what doesn't? Maybe we can hear from Malin. Have you also had to do online class, and which aspects of it works well for you, and if you do, and which aspects don't?
I did have online class. It was really hard to keep motivation, I guess. I guess that was the hardest for me, because you have so many distractions in your room that you don't have when you're just sitting in a classroom. But the work itself wasn't that hard for me. I think not a lot of my grades slipped either, so I think that went pretty well for me. But yeah, it was really hard to be motivated the whole year and not just stop learning and just do other things during class. So yeah.
And did anybody find something positive out of studying online?
Yeah, I actually found it to be positive because when COVID started, I was in year 10. So at that time, I don't think I was doing really well in terms of like my other subjects like maths. But during that time, I really studied like deeply into maths and physics. And I found that like I really enjoyed them. So I wanted to take them for like A level. So I think it was positive for me in that aspect.
Do you guys have any ideas about how we could potentially make the system better?
Try to make it better at schools because the exams were so hard, and most of people couldn't, like, they felt so bad and depressing because of the exams. So it was really hard.
Yeah. So maybe also compensate by making the exams a bit more, appropriate for having only been able to study at home or something like that. Might have been a good solution. How has the pandemic affected your sense of achievement in regards to academics?
I mean, in Sweden and with the school that I went to for high school, they definitely did their best. I know my teachers tried really hard to make it as easy for us to do online school and distance learning. But I definitely don't feel like it's really the same thing as actually going to school. I know, like, academic-wise, I definitely didn't learn as much as I feel like I would have if I were at school. Personally, I did struggle with like being at home for a long time and not being in like a classroom setting, I feel like I never realized how much I relied on my teachers, like them being there to help me and my classmates and stuff. In Sweden, or at least where I live, I did IB, and it's only 2 years, and I spent like maybe like at least a year or like more than a year at home. So even when I talk with my friends about it, it doesn't really feel like we've done high school, because we haven't actually been at school. And all of the other aspects about high school, like, you know, seeing your friends and actually being there, doing experiments and like labs and stuff. I took mostly sciences in high school, and there were a lot of experiments and stuff that we couldn't do. We couldn't go on field trips, and we couldn't go to places with the class, and that definitely made me and like my classmates feel like we kind of missed out on high school in a way. So it's weird to think that we've graduated when it doesn't really feel like we've actually done it properly.
It's a really unfortunate situation, especially, you know, I think most of you can agree that high school is a really important time to connect with people and, you know, develop a sense of achievement. So to miss out on that is really unfortunate.